Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Woo Curious podcast. Your map to the mystical, your key to the sacred, and your guide back home to yourself. I'm Eileen, a writer, a spiritual coach, energy healer, and slow living witch. This podcast is your invitation to explore a world where the mundane and the sacred intertwine. It's a haven for those ready to take the first steps into the realms of magic and mystery, providing a safe space for you to embark on your own enchanted journey towards healing and self-discovery. Here, I'll unveil the whispers of the mystical, the rituals often hidden in plain sight, and I'll engage in sacred conversation intended to stir your soul and lead you back into your power. I'm all about demystifying woo and witchcraft. So, whether you're a seasoned seeker or simply woo curious, I'm so delighted you've decided to join me on this journey. Let's make magic. Hello, Woo crew. Welcome to another episode of the Woo Curious podcast. I am your host, Eileen, and today it's going to be a short episode, I think. I guess you'll know because you can see based on the recording length, but I am coming to you, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that I am coming to you in the dark with my Christmas lights up behind me. I have a candle lit, and it's the solstice when I'm recording this. And I woke up remembering that I needed to record this podcast, but also thinking about the concepts of light and dark and the way that they have been used to represent goodness and badness and the repercussions of that throughout the world, and how the association of darkness with bad or evil was really an invention, as so many things are, of organized Christianity. Perhaps it started with Judaism. I'm not exactly sure here, but I've been reading a little bit lately and hearing others speak about it a little lately, and just really kind of processing and resonating with how many repercussions truly that idea of dark equaling bad has in our world. If we begin with what I love to speak about, which is to say rest and ease, the fact that the seasons of rest are the darker seasons is one of the ways in which, if we think about the dark as being bad, we then subliminally even maybe think about rest or sleep as being bad. It's not quote unquote productive. We're not making anything or producing anything or creating anything. It's also then equated with scariness, with evil, right? Many movies, many stories, we get all these. The dark is scary. The dark is when the evil comes out. The dark is to be avoided. The dark has monsters in it. And their truth, in my eyes, and you can argue with me if you'd like, is that the dark is a time perhaps when the veil is a little bit thinner, though there are daylight times when that is also very true. The dark is associated with the goddess and the feminine. And so we get this dichotomy of dark and light. We think about the fact that in most cultures for a very long time, the sun is associated with the masculine, the moon is associated with the feminine. Though in ancient Celtic culture, they were both feminine. But we're going to go with that binary because it is so rooted. Then we get this association that, well, if the dark is bad, if dark is scary or dark is evil, then the feminine must be bad, or the feminine is scary, or the feminine is evil. We also get this showing up in terms of race and this racialization, or applying this dichotomy, this false binary of light bright white means good, means pure, means advanced, is to be desired, and dark is to be avoided or not desired. And so we get this in racism, in the fact that whiteness is held up around the world, is very much seen as kind of the thing to be aspired to, and that black bodies are lesser than. Again, very much an imposed notion, a created notion by the colonial powers of the world through our history. We also have terms, light or white magic and black magic. And those are, again, denoting good magic and evil magic. And as I lay in bed this morning, I was thinking about how magic is neutral. There's no good or bad about magic itself. It's a neutral force in the world, and it all depends on the intention of the person, the human being, working that magic. And I'm not saying there's no such thing as evil intended magic or people. I'm just saying that perhaps we want to move away from calling it black magic. Maybe we want to call it simply evil doing magic or malintended magic. This comes through in things, and one of the thinkers, she used to be a business coach. Well, she still is, but not for white folks anymore. Her name's Simone Soul. I really, really admire her work, her advocacy for equality, equity, diversity, educating herself and others. And she was speaking about how in the woo world, in the realm of energy, healing, and work, and this sphere that I very much inhabit, there are a lot of phrases like light worker and signing off an email, love and light. And I really loved sitting with and thinking about how I believe in love and light. I also believe in compassion and dark, and wishing for more darkness is not a bad thing. Wishing for more rest, wishing for more fecundity and the connection to Mother Earth, who is dark, who has caves and crevices and darkness within her, as she also has light. And thinking about the fact that, we all come from the dark. We all come from a womb, and wombs are very dark, and that it's not a bad, evil place. It is a place of safety and comfort and magic, dark magic, good dark magic. Rich, fertile, dark soil is life-giving. This episode is it's early in the morning. And most of these thoughts were coming to me. I haven't even made my coffee yet. I just came down the stairs. My alarm went off. I lay in bed for probably another half an hour, just kind of having these swirling thoughts. So it's not terribly well thought out. And I really wanted to share it because we are still in the darkness of winter. We are just past the winter solstice. The light is indeed returning, and it is cause for celebration. And the darkness is cause for celebration too. Much like my episode on Descartes, these false binaries that we get ourselves into, this black and white thinking, this idea that there is good and there is evil, that there is, one thing that is better than another, often is playing to a narrative of capitalism, of white supremacy, of the patriarchy, and the world and our places in it is so much more nuanced than that. And so just an invitation to think about the language that you use, especially when you think about working your magic, working your craft. If you are an energy worker or a magic worker, a witch like me, or simply in your regular day-to-day life, thinking about how that equating good with light and bad with dark has informed so many other layers of our lives, of goodness and badness, quote unquote, in our lives, and how it impacts those folks who don't have light skin, perhaps. To have a word applied to something that is supposedly evil be the same word used to define the color of your skin, that's harm. There's harm there, whether it's intended or not. So yeah, that's my little quick little musing on this 23rd of December, if you're listening to it on the 23rd. I hope that you have a cozy, delicious, slow, family-filled week ahead of you. If you celebrate Christmas, I'm wishing you a Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate, then I'm just wishing you a happy holiday time, because our world in North America, in Europe, much of it does revolve around this Christian holiday, and our time off work revolves around these Christian holidays. And so whether or not we are practicing, it can be a time to take advantage of the fact that we've got a few days off, that there is full endorsement of being cozy and eating lots of good food, and that it is still the deep dark of winter, and rest, sleeping in, going to bed early, all of those things are to be encouraged as we celebrate the darkness and the returning sun. We can have both. Okay, Woo Crew, I hope that made sense. Because if it didn't, I don't really have space to re-record it. So we're going with it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear what it stirs up for you. I also want to just note that we will be gathering for a Sacred Start workshop in January, on January 14th. So mark your calendars. I believe I've got it at 2 p.m. on Mountain Time. I don't have a way to sign up for it yet, but I'm just bringing that in here. Again, I know you all are probably aware at this point that the Gregorian calendar for me doesn't hold a lot of weight. It doesn't make a lot of sense. This 1st of January is an arbitrary date by all accounts, solar, lunar, it's seasonal. It doesn't have any significance. And it does have significance because our culture gives it significance. And so I do believe there is some power in harnessing the beginning of the calendar year and starting well. And so we're going to gather to have some teaching, some learning, and some creation of a sacred start to the year. Last year, I really loved holding this particular masterclass / workshop. Really lovely turnout, and the participants really got a lot out of it to set up their year with some ritual. I also, as of recording, still have a few spaces left for half day, again, calling them VIP days, although I think everybody's very important. Maybe I'll call them half-day wise woman days, to drop into some real reflection, some real intention settings, card pull, ritual, a little bit of energy medicine, everything that you need, again, to reflect on the year gone by. This is really harnessing this winter solstice energy, reflecting on the year gone by, looking at the things that you want to set into motion, to plant seeds for the upcoming year, to be able to step into 2025 with some clarity, with some focus, with some inspiration, and in a place where you are set up to make this year ahead the most beautiful year of your life yet. So, offering those, reach out, Eileen at myluminouslife.ca if you're interested in those ones. It went out of my email list recently as well. If you're on there, you'll have gotten an email with all the details. And I'm going to sign off. There's something coming in 2025. I've been hinting at it all through Restmas. It's a beautiful, juicy, dark, delicious, and light delicious container. And you'll be hearing lots more about it in the weeks to come. But wishing you all well. Please let me know how you feel about this episode. And I can't wait to drop in and speak to you all next week. That's all for now. Bye.